The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Vedanta in all its phases, addressed by Swami Vivekananda at Calcutta, Part 10. According to the Advaitists, this individuality which we have today is a delusion. This has been a hard nut to crack all over the world. Forthwith, you tell a man he is not an individual. He is so much afraid that his individuality, whatever that may be, will be lost. But the Advaitist says that there never has been an individuality. You have been changing every moment of your life. You were a child and thought in one way. Now you are a man and think in another way. Again you will be an old man and will think differently. Everybody is changing. If so, where is your individuality? Certainly not in the body or in the mind or in the thought. And beyond that is your Atman. And says the Advaitists, this Atman is the Brahman itself. There cannot be two infinites. There is only one individual, and that is, it is infinite. In plain words, we are rational beings and we want to reason. And what is the reason? More or less classification until you cannot go any further. And the finite can only find its ultimate rest when it is classified into the infinite. Take up a finite thing and go on analyzing it. But you will find rest nowhere until you reach the ultimate or infinite. And that infinite, says the Advaitists, is what alone exists. Everything else is Maya. Nothing else has real existence. Whatever is of existence is any material thing in this Brahman. We are this Brahman. And the shape and everything else is Maya. Take away the form and the shape, and you and I are all one. But we have to guard against the word I. Generally people say, if I am the Brahman, why cannot I do this or that? But this is using the word in a different sense. As soon as you think you are bound, no more you are Brahman, the self, who wants nothing, whose light is inside. All his pleasures and bliss are inside. Perfectly satisfied with himself, he wants nothing, expects nothing, perfectly fearless, perfectly free. That is Brahman. In that we are all one. Now this seems therefore to be the great point of difference between the dualist and the Advaitist. You will find even great commentators like Shankaracharya making meaning of texts which to my mind sometimes do not seem to be justified. Sometimes you find Ramanuja dealing with texts in a way that is not very clear. The idea has been even among our Pandits that only one of these sects can be true and the rest must be false. Although they had the idea in the Shrutis, the most wonderful idea that India has yet to give the world, that which exists is one. Sages call it by various names. That has been the theme, and the working out of the whole of this life problem of the nation is the working out of that theme. Yea, except a few learned men, I mean barring a very few spiritual men, in India we always forget this. We forget this great idea, and you will find that there are persons among Pandits, I should think 98%, who are of the opinion that either the Advaitists will be true or the Vishisht Advaitists will be true or the Dvaitists will be true. And if you go to Varanasi and sit for 5 minutes in one of the ghats there, you will have a demonstration of what I say. You will see a regular bullfight going on about these various sects and things. Thus it remains. Then came one whose life was the explanation, whose life was the working out of the harmony that is the background of all the different sects of India. I mean Ramakrishna Paramahansa. It is his life that explains that both of these are necessary. that they are like the genocentric and the heliocentric theories in astronomy. When a child is taught astronomy, he is taught geocentric first and works out similar ideas of astronomy to the geocentric. But when he comes to the finer points of astronomy, the heliocentric will be necessary and he will understand it better. Dualism is the natural idea of the senses. As long as we are bound by the senses, we are bound to see a God who is only personal and nothing but personal. We are bound to see the world as it is, says Ramanuja. So long as you think you are a body, and you think you are a mind, and you think you are a jiva, every act of perception will give you the three, soul and nature, and something as causing both. But yet at the same time, even the idea of the body disappears, where the mind itself becomes finer and finer, till it has almost disappeared, when all the different things that make us fear, make us weak, and bind us down to this body life have disappeared. Then and then alone, one finds out the truth of that grand old teaching. What is the teaching? Even in this life, they have conquered the round of birth and death, whose minds are firm fixed on the sameness of everything. For God is pure and the same to all, and therefore such are said to be living in God. Thus, seeing the Lord the same everywhere, he, the sage, does not hurt the self by the self, and so goes to the highest goal.